educational reset going on. And many of y'all don't have the right understanding of it. So from what I'm seeing, you all are under the impression that there's money being taken away from the education system and that Trump is messing it all up and all this other rhetoric. And it's very simple. You could just go onto the White House website and type in exactly what's going on. Like you can look it up for yourself. You don't have to just sit there and take in news information, just the stuff that the Main Street news is pushing to you guys. I figured, or I thought, that you all will have gotten it by now. Mainstream media is not in the interest of giving you guys real information. They're going to feed you whatever fits their narrative and the people that are paying them, Democratic Party. But Secretary McMahon actually breaks down what's going on with the administration and what they're doing with the education system. Please, guys, understand, it's not that money is being stopped, like the flow of money is not going to the schools. That's not it at all. Changes are being made to give the power back to those on the local level, rather than having the federal government micromanage everything that's going on a local level. Why not give the power back to those at the states and the cities? Like, that doesn't make sense to you folks. It's almost as if there's no way to please you all. The federal government takes control of the education system. We see the decline in education. We see the decline in these kids. I was once an educator. I've spoken to plenty of educators. You all are struggling. Y'all know it. Let's keep this shit 100. These kids are not reading at a grade level that we need them to be reading at. We got supplies, we're short of supplies, and the list goes on. And you guys want this shit to still stay the same? What sense does this make? Why not give the power back to the people, back to the local level, where these guys can decide what needs to be done for the best of the children? But let's take a look and see what the Secretary had to say.
My purpose here is to speak directly to the American families, not just you, but to the American families, about the work this administration is doing in education to reverse our national decline with a hard reset of our educational system.
Yeah.
That reset was a top campaign promise from President Trump to send education back to the states and end Washington's micromanagement of education once and for all. This week, we took the most decisive steps thus far to make good on this promise to you. We have linked 6 groundbreaking partnerships with other federal agencies to delegate education department programs that are redundant with existing programs at Labor, State, Interior, and HHS. These interagency agreements to cut our own bureaucratic bloat are a key step in our efforts to shift educational authority from Washington, D.C. to your state education agency, your local superintendent, your local school board, entities that are accountable to you, and we encourage parents to always be involved. Cutting federal bureaucracy is never a popular move among D.C. insiders. A chorus of anti-Trump voices have come out of the woodwork to complain that we are defunding education, harming students, or acting without a plan. This could not be further from the truth. The majority of Americans across the country handed to President Trump the popular vote precisely because they have seen the brokenness of a top-down education system run by the federal government. They're painfully aware that only 3 out of 10 students can read proficiently at their grade level. They know that college students are collectively $1.7 trillion in debt, and less than half of college graduates get a job that actually uses the degree which they studied so hard to get. They see more teachers than ever before leaving the profession due to burnout, over-regulation, and lack of autonomy in the classroom. Anti-Trump voices are stirring up fear that returning education to the states is a draconian action. When Americans hear that we are shutting down the department, but given no other details, 51% oppose it. But when those same Americans are informed of our plans to preserve important elements of our work in other federal agencies and to maintain the K-12 funding that is distributed to the states, that number flips to an even greater majority at 56%. They support returning education to the states and breaking up the bureaucracy. That's because the Department of Education is a pass-through entity. It doesn't educate a single student. The money it sends to states for education can be sent directly without waste.
Yeah.
The Democrats' government shutdown proved it without a doubt, and I'll reiterate what you said, that the Department of Education was not necessary during the shutdown. Now, this is what I've seen already on my 50-state tour that I've embarked on. Educators are innovating in their schools. States are customizing their budgets and standards, and post-secondary institutions are planning for the economy of the future. But we're not leading them. They are informing us.
Yeah.
That's why our final mission as a department is to fully empower states to carry the torch of our educational renaissance. Education is local. It should be overseen locally by those who best know local needs. We're not ending federal support for education. We are ending federal micromanagement and paving the way for education renewal through state reforms like school choice, the science of reading, and restoring the right priorities in higher education. President Trump promised to send education back to the states, and we're keeping that promise. America's next generation will look back on the work we've carried out, thankful for an education system that prioritizes students over bureaucracy.
What was wrong with what she said? Nothing. Nothing. I'd love to hear from the educators. I'd love to hear from the higher ups in the education system. Y'all see the challenges. What is wrong with what she just said? Burnouts. Are you teachers not experiencing burnouts? Like, are we seriously going to act like this shit's not happening? I would love, you know what? If there are any higher up folks in the education system here locally, I'd love to sit down with you and just hear what your thoughts are about the changes that are going on. Seriously, because it makes no sense at this point to just have anybody just saying any old type of thing that has no idea what's going on. None. Why are the teachers experiencing the burnout? They need help. Parents, y'all got to step it up. Now, I do, please don't, I get it. Like, trying to balance it all out, right? With work, home, education, and the craziest stuff that they're trying to teach our kids now. Like, all of it is wild. You all don't agree that we need a change? When my kids were growing up in school, like, we saw the gradual change of things versus how it was when we were coming up, you know? Nah, come on, guys and women. I don't think that our political beliefs should get to the point where it affects the youth, especially when it comes to the education. We all can agree that it could be better. And one of the ways that I think it will get better is by transferring the power over to the local level, where there is no micromanaging happening on a federal level. Come on, y'all. Don't look that stupid just because you want to support a party or because you don't like Orange Man. Come on. Our youth is that much more important than this. The stuff that you guys want to make it a big deal about. I don't see anything wrong with that, but I would love to hear from y'all and whoever's willing to come on and talk and let us know what is going on, you know, what it's like and what your thoughts are concerning this reset that's happening in the education system. And they're right. during the Democratic shutdown, education was not affected. Like the Department of Education was not affected in this. As a matter of fact, they played no role in getting the government back up. They were not affected in this. But please understand, Democrats, y'all allowing the shutdown to happen has given Trump tremendous power to do a lot of cutting out of things. So thank y'all. Now a lot of things can be done. A lot of cutting down can happen. And it was all because of how y'all chose to play your hand. Well, James SP, the content creator, y'all, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and pass this on to anybody that you think would benefit from this. But any educators, if you want to come on and have a conversation about this, let's do it. Hit me up right here on this platform, and I'll reach back out to you. All right, y'all be easy. If you got any more topics that you would love for me to talk on or expound on, no doubt about it. Again, before I sign off, I'm still tripping off of that whole Walmart Obama. Anyway, guys, listen, I come on and I do these things just to kind of give a different perspective of what you all are seeing online. I have what's called wipe your lens. That's when you actually wipe your lens to get a clearer vision of exactly what you're going to photograph or capture when it comes to video.
Yo, let me ask you a question. What do you think is more powerful, truth or perspective? Me, I'm going with perspective. I mean, let's think about this. Yes, it's true. If you wanted to improve the quality of your image, yeah, you can get a better camera, better phone. You can improve your lighting. All of these things are true. I'm not knocking it, right? But think about this. What if you just change your perspective a little bit and you just simply wipe the lens? Now look at that. See, when you wipe the lens, it actually gives you a different perspective on the image that you're trying to focus in on. So I'm going with perspective. Wipe your lens.
But in real life scenario, I like to say wipe your lens, change your perspective. And that's what this is all about, changing the perspective of what you're getting, what you're seeing, and talking about it. Y'all be easy. James SP, the content creator. I'm out, y'all. Peace.